Guys, Valentine's Day is like less than a week away. So if anybody out there is secretly in love with me, now would be the time to tell me. Hey guys, what's up? My name's Karen, and today I'm actually going to be doing another book tag for you. I wasn't planning on doing a book tag for this week since I just did one last week, but with Valentine's Day coming up, I thought that this would be the perfect one to do. And that is, of course, the Book Courtship Tag. I've actually been kind of avoiding this tag for a long time just because I thought it was one that was more focused on like characters and relationships in books. I don't read a whole lot of books that focus on romances or anything like that, but then when I finally saw recently what it actually was, I thought it seemed so cool and I really wanted to do it. So this tag was originally created by Hi, I Love Books, and I will link to her original video down below. So I'm not going to waste any time and just go ahead and get started. Phase 1, Initial Attraction, a book that you bought because of the cover. A book that I bought actually just because of the cover is Replica by Lauren Oliver. So basically this book is two books in one. One side is Lyra and the other side is Gemma. So it's two different stories that actually meet up and are intertwined, focused on two girls with very different paths. And of course, their stories do eventually meet up and you get to see how they are connected. I can't quite remember if I got a sneak peek at this book in my publishing program or not, but I just remembered seeing it for the first time and thinking it was so cool how it was double-sided with the two different colors. And then this part comes off and just has the clear white underneath. So I just thought the jacket on this was really unique and that the colors looked super pretty, and I just love the way there was the shadowing with the names and everything like that. Even though this isn't a genre or anything I would normally go for, I just had to pick this up because I thought it was so cool. And the stories do seem very interesting too, so I am excited to eventually read this. Phase 2, First Impressions, a book that you got because of the summary. Like Replica, I actually haven't gotten a chance to read this one yet, and that is Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Moldavsky. Did I say that right? Oh my god. So the summary on the jacket doesn't go into too much detail, but it's basically about friends that end up kidnapping a member of one of their favorite bands, and it's implied that things get out of control during the night. It doesn't reveal much more than that, but I just read that and that was enough for me. I'm really hoping that I'll be able to read this book sometime this year. Gotta brush my hair out so I look good for all the single boys watching. Phase 3, Sweet Talk, a book with great writing. This book is one of my absolute favorite books ever, and this is what initially got me interested in this author, and it is Carrie by Stephen King. I actually read this for the first time when I was 16, and this was 3 years after seeing the original movie for the first time, and I just remember reading this and thinking, holy crap, like this is amazing. So for those that don't know, Carrie is of course about a troubled teenager who is a bit of an outcast at her high school and is abused by her overly religious mother, and she ends up discovering that she has telekinesis and bad things happen at her prom. I don't think I need to say much more than that. I'm pretty sure most people know what happens in the book and the films. His writing just definitely goes above and beyond what you actually see in any of the movies. All the different perspectives he has, all the different ways he changes his writing throughout it to suit the scenario. It's crazy. This was actually the very first book he ever had published, and I definitely see why he's continued on ever since. Like, this book is definitely a good first impression on his part. And if you really want to understand what makes him such a great writer, I actually recommend this one if you've never read any Stephen King before. Phase 4, First Date. A first book of a series which made you want to pursue the rest of the series. So this book is actually the first of one of my absolute favorite book series ever, and it is Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging by Louise Renison. And this is of course the first book of the Confessions of Georgia Nicholson series. I love this series so much. It's about a girl named Georgia, obviously, and basically just a lot of the things she faces as a teenager. So boys and mean girls and just drama with her friendships and drama with her parents, and it's just incredibly funny. This book is not only so relatable, but a lot of the things that happen are able to make you laugh so hard that you kind of forget about your own life for a little while. And once I read this book, I had to have the rest of the series, and I ended up going through, I think it was the first 8 books really fast, and then I had to wait for the final few to be released. And, I love this book, and I'm so sad that Louise passed away because she would have probably written so many more funny material, and it's just sad. Phase 5, late night phone calls, a book that kept you up all night long. I'm sure when most people answer this question, they probably answer with a book that they literally spent all night reading, but the book I've chosen for this is for a different reason, and that is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. So I was actually reading this one in my dorm when I was completing my publishing program, and I did not have a roommate for the majority of the program, and I decided it would be a good idea to try reading this later at night. Oh my god, Dad, go away. And once I stumbled across the pictures that looked like this, I basically decided I was not sleeping that night because I was terrified. And it is a YA book, so a lot of people don't think it can't possibly be that scary, but when you're reading at nighttime and it's talking about monstrous people that want to eat Peculiar's eyeballs and things like that, and you come across creepy pictures like that, yeah, you're basically never gonna sleep again. Phase 6, Always on My Mind. A book that you could not stop thinking about. So a book that actually stayed on my mind long after I read it was Before I Die by Jenny Downham. So it's a book about a girl named Tessa who basically has terminal cancer, and she has a list of things she wants to do before she dies. It's actually a very sad book, but a very eye-opening one too. It focuses a lot on satisfaction with your life and basically how you would live if you knew like your time was running out. I think a lot of us think we have all the time in the world when a lot of us really don't, and this book oftentimes has me thinking a lot about what are some things I might do differently if I thought that I didn't have much time left. Phase 7, Getting Physical, a book in which you love the way it feels. So the book that I love the way it feels when I'm holding it is Speechless by Hannah Harrington. It's about a girl named Chelsea who initially takes a vow of silence following a bad event that happened at a party she went to that was basically caused by her. This book was actually super amazing, but I think one of the best parts about it is just like how good it feels when you're holding it. All the lettering is 3D on it, and it's this smooth, I can't quite explain what it is, but it's a very smooth material, and it also has like the flaps attached to the cover, and it's just a really nice material. Like sometimes I would just sit there holding it and not actually reading it just because it felt good to be holding a book like this. Phase 8, Meeting the Parents, a book in which you would recommend to your friends and family. So the book I chose for this because I literally could not stop recommending it to my friends and family once I read it is I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. I've actually explained the plot for this in my introduction video, and it's a little too complicated to try and explain again. It's just the craziest thing I have ever read. Ian Reid's writing is so suspenseful and has this big edge of your seat quality to it that you never really know what's going to happen, and you just feel so frightened while you're reading it. I could not get over the twist at the ending, so I've just been telling anyone that will listen, you have to read this book. And that includes all of you guys. If you have not read this book, seriously go and pick it up. Whether you end up enjoying it or not, it will still just change your life and how you read books. I swear. Phase 9, Thinking About the Future, a book or series that you know you'll reread many times in the future. A book that I plan on rereading at least once a year is If You Feel Too Much by Jamie Twarkowski. So this is of course another book that I have mentioned in an earlier video, but I love this book so much. Jamie is the founder of To Write Love in Her Arms, so obviously all of the essays in this book are focused on more mental health issues, so just personal issues he's had throughout his life and how he's dealt with them and what he's learned and how he's basically coped with everything that has happened to him on a personal level. I remember the night that I read this for the first time, I was almost in tears. I just felt so warm and fuzzy the whole time I was reading it because he just really hits you where it hurts. You almost walk away from this book feeling so much hope for the future and that things are going to get better. I know I struggle a lot of times throughout the year with having optimism and hope towards some of the things that are going on in my life. So this is a book I really needed, and I'm so glad he published it. He even signed it for me. How sweet. Phase 10, share the love. Who would you like to tag? Well, as most of you probably know, I am still pretty new to BookTube and I haven't made too many BookTuber friends, so I'm going to tag everybody that is watching this video. It's a fun tag and I'm really glad that I sat down and actually did it. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't seen any of my previous videos, please feel free to check those out. And if you like what I do, I hope you'll like, comment, and subscribe. As always, spread love and don't be a troll. Bye!